What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, joined by my very own Hot Commodity Ant. And today we are jumping into Attitude Year Season 3. We're on the road to WrestleMania 2000. We only got like 4 more episodes, maybe. But we're slowly but surely getting through 2000. What are you thinking so far of it?
It's been exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of DX, a lot of Triple H, and McMahon, Rock. It's the only thing I don't like is Austin and the Undertaker haven't been around. So that's kind of sucks. But other than that, it's been pretty exciting.
They definitely stepped up though with Undertaker and Austin being out with these new stars, Triple H, The Rock. They're getting.
Yeah, they did step up, but I think it'll be even better when they're back.
Something's missing, yes. Well, we're covering WWF.
And we did get quite an exciting return on it.
Yes, we did. We saw a lot of exciting things. Yeah, well, something else happened in this episode that was pretty exciting. But WWF Raw's War is live March 13th, 2000 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. WWF Champion Triple H comes out with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. And once they come out, Shane McMahon and The Big Show come out. Shane says, last Thursday was historic. We put our differences aside. Triple H it was a systematic destruction of The Rock. We made him the people's chump on SmackDown. Triple H says, Rock, all you had to do was go away. You lost the #1 contenders match. Rock got his ass kicked 3 times in one night. Rock is used to beating himself anyways. Triple H says, when you humiliate The Rock, it gets the job done. Stephanie says, The Rock's competition at WrestleMania are the Twin Towers. And 2 short people come out and they make fun of the fact that their size. Steph says, hopefully you won't come up so short. One of the short men does the people's eyebrow. And Shane says that match can be a tuxedo match. Triple H says maybe even an evening gown match. Big Show says, let's make it 2 out of 3 falls. Triple H says, how about a midget on a pole match? They're just mocking The Rock because he doesn't have a match at WrestleMania yet. The Rock then comes out, and The Rock says, throw whatever you have at The Rock. You drove Mick Foley out of the WWF. You had the chance to do the same to me tonight. I want the Big Show. If I win, I go to WrestleMania. If I lose, you will never see The Rock again. Triple H says, I don't know why you would do that, but if it gets you out of here, Jack, you got a deal. And then The Rock says, unlike Big Show, I don't have Shane. I don't have Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. I have the people. So The Rock is putting his career on the line against Big Show to get to WrestleMania. And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it was really his only choice. It was the only thing he had left. They weren't going to give him any more chances. And as far as The Rock knew, that was his last chance. So he had to do what he had to do.
We have the Hardy Boyz taking on Al Snow and Steve Blackman. Matt Hardy tosses Al Snow into the crowd, and then Jeff rolls up Steve Blackman for the victory. Really nothing here, just more comedic relief. Yeah. But yeah, Steve Blackman and Al Snow are just funny together because Steve has no personality. So
yeah,
that's
I don't see it lasting much longer. I think Blackman's going to be the shit out of Al Snow.
Okay. We see Mark Henry backstage with Mae Young in the wheelchair, and he has the Fabulous Moolah stand by to watch her to make sure that she doesn't come out during his match. He's taking on the tag team champions of Dudley Boyz in a handicap match. During the match, though, Bubba spears Mark Henry and then leaves the ringside area. We follow Bubba backstage to where he grabs Mae Young in the wheelchair. Moolah is nowhere to be found.
She is in the background going, 1 minute, yeah, I'll be right there.
She's in the bathroom.
Backstabbing
bitch, yeah. The Dudleys hit 3D to Mark Henry, and then they give Mae Young the tag titles, and they tell her to forget about Mark. They wheel her up. Pretty much. They wheel her up the ramp, and then
she's going to be in their trailer park tonight.
Bubba Ray power bombs Mae Young off the stage through a table on the floor, and they stretch her 80-year-old Mae Young out. Poor Mae, she's taken a fucking powerbomb off the top rope through a table, and now a powerbomb off the stage. And at this point, Mae Young farts on Bubba, which I thought was pretty humorous in my eyes. But what do you think about poor Mae Young taking these bumps?
She is killing it at 80 years old.
Mm-hmm.
There's no 80-year-old men who have done it.
No. More power to Mae Young, man. And then also, too, like, her head sort of, like, bounces on the floor.
Yeah.
She got fucked up.
They took chances with her like that. I remember.
I'm surprised she didn't have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Euro-Continental champion Kurt Angle defending the European title against Tazz and Chris Jericho. Angle comes down and says Bob Backland is a true American hero. Jericho then says that Kurt Angle has a love connection with Bob Backland. Jericho is an idiot, imbecile, and an ignoramus. Well, I'm sorry, Jericho says that Angle is an imbecile, ignoramus, and an idiot, just like Bob Backland.
I can't believe he would treat an Olympian like that.
And then Taz says this match is no disqualification. They have a decent triple threat match until Taz applies the Taz mission to Kurt Angle. Bob Backland gets involved. Jericho applies the walls to Angle, and then Bob hits Jericho. Chyna comes in and low blows Bob Backland, and then Angle hits Chris Jericho with the European title, and Kurt Angle retains the championship with a lot of outside interference there. But what are your thoughts?
I was kind of surprised. I kind of thought that, where Jericho has no title right now, and Kurt Angle has two. I kind of thought maybe he was going to get the European title, but obviously I was.
Yeah. But what do you think of this partnership with Bob Backland and Kurt Angle?
It's
weird, right?
Like, but they kind of did that a lot in the Attitude Era. They would just have like random older people, like they would just stick to Brooklyn Brawley in there.
Yeah.
Like random shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, it won't be a long term
thing. No. Next up, we have Too Cool and Rikishi.
And Bob Backland's still alive.
Yes, he's actually from Connecticut, and he used to run for like what's cool about Bob Backland is like whenever WWE would go to like New Haven, I remember being at a house show and he was just like walking around the stands, and I remember seeing him. He's a big, like he's jacked for an old guy.
He was a world champion.
Yeah, so it was cool. And I remember one time he was at like a Dunkin' Donuts in Connecticut because he was trying to run. And, he has to visit the spots. But it was cool as a wrestling fan to see Bob Backland,
Yeah.
Anyway, so Rikishi and Too Cool are teaming up against Road Dogg, X-Pac, and the WWF Champion Triple H with Stephanie McMahon, Helmsley, and Tori by their side. Too Cool and Rikishi have the advantage for the majority of the match until Rikishi looks to set up for a bonsai drop on Triple H. But then X-Pac takes a ring bell and breaks it over Rikishi's head. Triple H gets the pinfall. DX gets the victory here. Thoughts on this? Rikishi's going to try to get back at DX, obviously. But
Rikishi's been kind of up against DX for a while.
The radical.
Like standing up for the Rock, which is never really explained. Like you don't really know why they get involved because they don't have any on-screen relationship.
Yeah.
And back then, none of us knew that they were related. So it was kind of
the
weird.
Fala.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that back then they were defending their tribal chief.
We didn't know it.
We didn't even know.
But that the bell shot was pretty cool, the way it broke over his head. Moving on, The Rock wishes Kane good luck in his match. Next, we have Kane with Paul Bearer on the Big Boss Man, which who fucking cares about this one?
Honestly, everything with the Big Boss Man is
boring, right? And Jim Ross, like, he's so tough. He's like fun. It's just like he's getting his ass kicked. Kane wins after a choke slam, and that's it. No story for that match, just a way to get Kane out there. We see Michael Cole interviewing the Fabulous Moolah backstage. Moolah says the bitch got what she deserved. I brought her in and she showed her puppies and shamed me. I don't give a damn if Mae ever comes back. Moolah turns on her friend, man. She's jealous that Mae has Mark Henry.
Any woman who appears on WWF, they owe her everything. She's a bitch.
I'm just turned on by him, so it's like he's trying to get me to rush. I want his body, just like Mark Henry wants me. Next up, we have light heavyweight champion Essa Rios with Lita defending against Dean Malenko with Eddie Guerrero. And Jim Ross is claiming that even though Eddie still has his arm wrapped up in the sling, he doesn't need it anymore. Eddie Guerrero ends up, Lita goes for a Hurricane Rana on the floor. Eddie catches her and power bombs Lita on the ground. And then Dean Malenko rose up Essa Rios, and we have a new light heavyweight champion in Dean Malenko. What are your thoughts? The women keep getting fucked up.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. I just think like he was like with Triple H and DX going up against like The Rock, and now he's like the light heavyweight champion. Like,
well, to be fair, in WCW, he was the cruiserweight champion, so they were trying to establish that title as the cruiserweight.
they didn't.
No, we see Terry asking the Acolytes for some help with something. We see Edge and Christian taking on the Acolytes. They have Knitting in their corner. Terry comes out. Terry distracts Christian, which allows Bradshaw to land a clothesline from hell. And after the match, and the Acolytes get the win. After, though, the Acolytes push Midian and Edge and Christian destroy him.
And Christian is quite starting to get quite angry with Edge because he keeps letting Terry get involved. Like he keeps like fucking over Christian over this stupid shit. Like he'll just completely ignore the match because Terry, they can go fight with Terry in the corner. Like, it's dumb.
He's like, I need to fight with Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
And he just like abandons Christian in the ring.
And I will say, spoiler alert, from what I know, there's really no like.
Yeah, nothing ever happens between them.
There's no like, and not even like, there's Terry's involved in another storyline heading to WrestleMania, so I don't understand what they're. I mean, we only got 2 weeks, and there's still like no matches. All right, we see the Mean Street Posse and Prince Albert attack WWF Hardcore Champion Crash Holly at the airport baggage claim department. Pete Gas pins Crash. Crash is able to pin Pete Gas and then escape. They're pulling this off as like he has to defend the title 24/7 no matter where he is. What are your thoughts on the Mean Street Posse trying to win this night? That this 24/7 rule being in effect? Like it?
It's okay, but it's like if other people were involved, I think it would be a little more exciting. But it's getting like a little much just seeing the 3 idiots and the 4th idiot.
Like, what do they call him? Elroy Jetson.
Elroy. His boy Elroy.
He does look like Elroy. He's the one with the red with the green, right? Next up, we have Val Venis and Test versus Perry Saturn and Chris Benoit. During this match, Eddie Guerrero comes out as well. Eddie distracts Test and then drops Test's neck across the ropes, allowing Chris Benoit to land a bridging German suplex, and Perry Saturn and Chris Benoit get the victory. The Radicals continue to dominate here on Raw.
I don't quite understand having Test and Val Venis.
Yeah, well, they're Canadian, so maybe Canadian brothers.
Kind of stretching it.
Yeah. Well, again, nothing came from that match, just a way to put the Radicals on TV. And we've made it to our main event, The Big Show versus The Rock. Rock loses. He's fired. He wins. He goes to WrestleMania 2000. Shane McMahon comes out, and he will be the special guest referee for this match. Rock lands a Russian leg sweep to The Big Show on the ramp. Big Show military presses The Rock onto a table. Big Show then lands a side slam, but The Rock lands a low blow. Big Show accidentally hits Shane. Rock lands a people's elbow, but Shane stops the ref from counting the Big Show's arms down. And then a limo pulls up, and Vince McMahon comes out. We haven't seen Vince since the night after Armageddon 1999, when Stephanie McMahon Helmsley explained why she turned on him. Vince sees Triple H backstage and punches him. Vince runs out with a chair and hits Shane with...
Lays out the fucking game.
He laid him out.
With a little punch.
Vince, well, Triple H is going to remember this because he talks about it a year later on Tough Enough. I mean, that knockout, he had to fight a tough guy like Vince McMahon at Armageddon. Yeah. Vince ends up nailing Shane McMahon with a steel chair, and then Vince puts the referee shirt on. Rock lands a rock bomb to the Big Show on a steel chair. And with Vince McMahon's help, The Rock is going to WrestleMania 2000.
What he is cooking.
What do you think about this?
Well,
are you happy Vince is back? What do you think?
Yeah, I think we all knew The Rock was going to go to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just a matter of how. And also, I think we need Vince back. I think there needs to be some leveling of the balancing of power. Yes, definitely.
Well, Vince is definitely the guy to do that. I mean, he has no fear of anybody.
Vince will be heel. He can't stay face for too long. So, he'll do his job for now, but we'll see.
Okay.
I don't give it too long till he's turning up.
You can't trust the McMahon. Now, I want to do a new little segment thing quick. What do you think from this episode was like the most Attitude Era-esque moment?
Probably Vince walking back and like at the ending and taking off the shirt and putting the referee shirt on, and that was very
yeah. My moment of Attitude would be Mae Young taking that phone.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being little and seeing that and being like, damn.
And also, I like the way they used to open the show because they would always have like, a big rivalry argument in the beginning.
You like that?
All those people would be out there. It wasn't just like match.
See, I like when they would make the matches, I like how they do it now. Where it's like, going into Raw what matches you're going to see. Whereas, then it was like they come out, they do a 20-minute promo and make the matches. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Well, but sometimes they did go a bit long. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that. But I do like to see a little more storyline. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not getting a lot of story lately at all.
No. Getting a lot of story. But to be fair, we just said this earlier. A lot of it that's being shown on the Attitude right now is just The Rock and DX. Like, that's the main. And we've got 2 weeks of WrestleMania, and those are the only things they're focusing on. So I'm confused as to when they're going to start making things, Mm-hmm. But with that, we've covered all of Raw's War. We've got SmackDown coming up next, a couple more episodes of Raw and SmackDown, and then we hit WrestleMania 2000. We've also got Halloween Havoc NXT this, I think, Saturday on pay-per-view. We've got Raw, SmackDown, Crown Jewel, AEW Dynamite, NXT, everything coming your way with the Uncensored Wrestling Podcast.
Next month, we're going to have Saturday Night Main Event.
Well, that's December, Toki Baby. We have War Games Survivor Series. Yes. We're excited for that too. Saturday's Main Event. Why not? It's exciting that they're coming back. But with that, I hope you guys come back too. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, Amazon Podcast, Apple Music, the Uncensored Wrestling Podcast. Stay safe and stay uncensored.